Okay, welcome. In this video, we will show you the different evolution of transmission of information in various time periods. Communication is very important. It is the key to understand between people. Through the years, communication has evolved. The way people communicate with each other today is entirely different from prehistoric era. Before, communicating is limited to interpersonal interaction, person to person, until it evolved to alphabet, signs, and symbols, letters, and telephone. Today, the internet era has paved the way to innumerable means of communication. Technology has indeed redefined communication. People no longer have to wait for years, months, weeks, and days to receive an information or message. Today, text, emails, tweets, and personal message can reach the recipients in just a matter of seconds. Let us see how communication evolved throughout the years. Cave paintings. The oldest form of symbol used for communication is cave paintings. According to theorists, cave paintings were created to mark territory or to record events. The oldest cave painting was discovered inside the cave in France, around 3000 BC. Other earliest cave paintings were found in Indonesia and in Romania. Symbols. Our early ancestors have used different variations of signs and symbols to communicate. Around 10,000 BC, petroglyphs were created. They were carving in the rock surface, usually referred to as a rock art. In 9000 BC, pictograms were developed in which ancient people logographic image to tell a story. Later on, an ancient cultures developed ideograms. Egyptian had their hieroglyphs. Chinese created characters. Lastly, the alphabet, which redefined language and communication, was developed around 2000 BC. Smoke signals. Apart from letters and symbols, ancient people also rely on elements to communicate. Smoke signals were primarily used in sending messages in China. In 200 BC, guards execute smoke signal to send message along the Great Wall of China. In 150 BC, Greek historian Polybius developed smoke signal representing the alphabet. Postal System. During the ancient Egyptian, used couriers served to send out decrees in 2400 BC. Until now, a piece of mail which dates back to 255 BC is still preserved. Postal systems were also organized in Persia, China, India, and Rome before. On the other hand, it was only in 1653 when Frenchman de Villiers started a postal system in Paris which involved the use of mailbox and delivery of paid envelopes. Newspaper. In 1440, German Johannes Gutenberg developed the printing press system, which radically changed communication forever. With this, the newspaper began to flourish in 16th century. The German language publication of Johann Carolus in Strasbourg in 1605 was the first newspaper. The first English language newspaper was published in Amsterdam in 1620. Radio. After print media flourished, radio followed. In the 1830s, various scientists such as Maxwell and Hughes studied on wireless telegraphy, which developed the theory of electromagnetism. In 1888, Heinrich Rudolf Hertz discovered Hertzian waves, named after him. In 1893, Tesla started using wireless power as a form of transmitting content. In the early 20th century, radio broadcasting began. Telegraph. Telegraph communication started after Samuel Morse invented the Morse code, which encoded the ISO basic Latin alphabet. The Morse code transmitted message through series of clicks, tones, and lights. In 1830, Morse integrated the Morse code in telegraphy technology that revolutionized the long-distance communication. In 1844, Morse sent his first telegraph message. The telegraphy was immediately replaced by the telephone. It was invented by Scottish Alexander Graham Bell in 1876. The telephone acts as a telecommunication device that converts human audio signal to electronic signal which are transmitted via cable. It was further developed to commercially cater to local and long-distance calls. In 90s, landline telephone service began. Until now, the telephone remained one of the most reliable telecommunication devices. Television. Along with telephones, television started to become a mode of indirect communication to the mass audience. The television was not just invented by a single person, but developed through the efforts of various brilliant people. The earliest record of TV broadcasts occurred after the World War II, in which the display was still black and white. Now, more than 1.5 billion households in the world own a television. Internet. After the creation of computers in 1950s, the ARPANET, which was the early predecessor of the Internet, was developed. ARPANET was designed to manage communication between ARPA computers terminals in 1960s. The term Internet first emerged in 1973. The first Internet service provider was the Telenet. In 1983, the domain system started. In 1991, Tim Lee, a scientist at CERN o CERN, introduced the World Wide Web, which definitely started the modern Internet. Email. With the onset of the Internet, electronic mails started to become popular, although emails became for the ARPANET. However, it was offline. In 1975, John Vital developed a software to organize email. At the time, 75% of ARPANET traffic was email. In 1994, Yahoo was born. It was followed by other mailing platforms including Hotmail and Google Mail. Text message. The first official SMS messaging took place on December 3, 1992. When Neil Pappert, an engineer from Sema Group, now Airwide Solutions, used a computer to send Merry Christmas through the Vodafone network. In 1994, the Radio Linja was the first network service provider to carry out person-to-person text messaging. Now, SMS has evolved in which over 9 trillion SMS are sent every year. Social media. The latest mode of communication in the digital era is the use of social media platform. It has become more available because of the proliferation of smartphones where the social media apps can easily be installed. In 2004, Facebook was created by Mark Zuckerberg. Today, the Messenger is the one of the most widely used messaging app. There are more than 2 billion Facebook users worldwide. 2005, YouTube became the first ever popular video hosting social media site. In 2006, Twitter began to dominate the social media scene. Other social media platforms have followed.